I can't lie, it's rare that I get giddy about lighting gear because, well, for the most part, I am typically shooting videos that rely mostly on ambient light. There are scenarios, though, where I need lights, but on top of all the camera and audio gear I have to haul around, lighting is usually the last thing I want to bring with me. But there was one light in particular that was released this year from Juntech. I don't know how to say that. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic. That little 60 and 100 watt COB lights, I instantly wanted them, but I ended up not pulling the trigger quite yet. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, because then this guy was released. This is the SmallRig RC 60B, and I'm not kidding when I say that this is probably my new favorite light for run and gun filmmakers. And if you don't own any lights, this one is literally a no-brainer no matter what kind of content you film. My name's Dustin, your video tour guide, and I'm too excited to finish my intro, so let's go. For starters, what you get in the box is the light itself, a mini Bowens mount reflector, a little handle to freehand the light, a mount to put the light on a stand, some USB-C cables, and this cool clamp that I'll mention what it's for later. When it comes to using the light, there's a switch on the back to turn it on and two knobs on the side that control the light intensity and color temperature when you're in the bicolor mode. You can also click in the knobs to change between some preset color temps and light intensities. There's also a mode button on the side that will take you into the effects menu. From there's not a ton of options, but definitely enough to be useful. When you're in this mode too, when you click the knobs in, that's how you move between the different menu options. Now, I want to point out some things when it comes to this as well. Notice that there's a frequency option that you can move between 1 through 10. I really like this because that's kind of my complaint on lights that have built-in effects, is it doesn't give you a lot of variance in the different options. So I like that a lot. Now, moving to the back again of the light, you'll notice that there's an eco button and a USB-C port. The eco button makes the fan run quieter, and they do advertise a silent fan design. It's definitely not silent, in my opinion, but it's a passable volume. Now, let me tell you about the coolest part of this light, besides just, well, how tiny it is. I didn't even really talk about that. Look at this thing. Like, look, this is the Sure like 50mm Venus. The Venus is like bigger than the light itself. What? It's just like so cute, you know? Almost comically small. But it has a built-in battery. And you'll notice on the side of the light where it displays the battery level, it'll tell you a time of how long the battery will last based on how bright the light is. All I'm saying, this should just become a standard in all electronic devices that have a built-in battery, not just lights. Don't just display percentage or like a battery bar. Give me a time, like a estimated time. Anyways, absolutely love that. But now, let me show you what this attachment is for. It clamps onto the back of the light so you can put a battery bank or V-mount battery so you can keep the light charged while you're shooting. Now, it would have been kind of nice if they could move these buttons though and have a built-in V-mount on the back, or maybe like some kind of option to buy something like that, but definitely that's not that big of a deal. They do have some other accessories as well for the light, like a mini softbox, which I'm totally going to get and kind of wish it was included, but it is what it is. I also asked if there was going to be an adapter so you can mount like a standard reflector or softbox, and they did say that it was a highly requested thing, so we'll see. There's really only one thing that's kind of a bummer in my opinion, which is there isn't an app that exists to control the light remotely. Maybe, hopefully, in a future light from SmallRig, but wouldn't bank on it if this one doesn't. Oh, and the build quality. I mean, it's fine. It's made out of like this hard plastic, but it doesn't feel plasticky or cheap. It's solid, and definitely think in the long run, it'll last. So now I want to show you some before and afters using this light when I was out getting some test footage for an upcoming project I'm working on. Stay tuned. I don't have a before and after for this first shot, but this side of Jeff's face was not lit at all. Adding that light just gave just enough so we could get some detail in there. Here's a better example of a before and after, And what I love so much about this light is just how bright it is, especially with the reflector on. I was just bouncing the light off the ceiling of this garage to light Jeff's face, and that's really what I found myself doing with it a lot in these examples, since I didn't have any kind of softbox and wanted to move really quickly. I did the same thing with this slider shot. You can see how much more detail it adds to the subject just by bouncing the light off the ceiling. Right here, I'm bouncing it off the side of a building to kind of give myself a bit of a key light. This was the only shot where I didn't bounce the light because I was trying to light the area more as if there was some kind of street lamp light. And just look at the before and after here. This light gets extremely bright with the reflector, which is sweet because look how tiny it is, like I said. I even used it to bounce some light off my wall in my basement in this video. I also used it to take the thumbnail of this video. I just wanted a very harsh light coming in from the top and at an angle, and to me, it looks perfect. There's only one other thing that I wasn't crazy about, and that was the foam inside the packaging. But for the price, which is $200 at the time of making this video, I think it's acceptable. Literally everything else I love. Now, I haven't used the Juntech version of this light, but two things so far that light has an advantage over this one is an adapter does exist to put like a normal size Bowens mount on here, like on the front of the light on the Juntech, not this one. And it's possible SmallRig will make one, but the other thing is I believe an app exists to control the brightness on those Juntech lights as well. But then this one has a built-in battery, and I'm pretty sure the Juntech does not. They come in at the same price though, but personally, I kind of do like the built-in battery aspect of this a little bit more, but I would have to probably use the Juntech in order to make like a good comparison between the two. I'm basing this solely off of just information without using the Juntech. Now, obviously for long periods of time at 100%, it won't last as long, but for normal use, I haven't even recharged it since I got it a couple weeks ago. Overall, yeah, it's become seriously one of my favorite lights, and I will 100% be using this light in a ton of different applications. What a time we live in. I'm excited to see what SmallRig does to build on this line of lights. What do you think of the light though? Let me know down in the comments. Are you thinking of going with the Juntech version of this, or would you choose the SmallRig? If you enjoyed this video and you want to support me, I got links in the description for the light, and if you pick up something from there, it also helps out the channel, so I appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe as well because that also helps me, and it's free. Until the next video though, happy filming.